Live, Concord, New Hampshire, a teen girl breaks down in tears describing an elite prep school rape. All part of a virginity-taking contest where male students keep scores written on the walls behind the washer and dryers at the school of the names of their victims. In the last hours, damning evidence from the witness stand.
She had showed me some bite marks that she had on her, like around her nipple, on her boobs. She was like, look at this. This is serious.
Tracy Caruso joining us, co-host New Hampshire in the Morning, WZID. Tracy, thank you for being with us. What a day. So we hear so much damning evidence. What happened?
Nancy, it was a very emotional day. The morning started with the accuser taking the stand again. The alleged victim, she broke down several times during cross-examination. At one point, they had to stop the questioning so that she could compose herself. But she also seemed to fight back a bit during the questioning. She told the defense attorney that her testimony may have discrepancies because things were cloudy. And then she defended the cloudy statement by saying that she had been traumatized, that of course things would be in her memory bank different. Now, the defense was able to get her to admit her participation, though, Nancy. She admitted to lifting her arms to have the sweatshirt removed. She admitted to lifting her hips to have her shorts removed. And she admitted that she may have actually laughed during the encounter, but then went on to defend that by saying it was nervous laughter. She didn't want to come across as bitchy. But then she also reminded the court she still told him no, and she still told him stop.
Okay, Tracy Caruso, several things happened in court today. The alleged rape victim on the stand. This is an elite prep school where John Kerry attended, Gary Trudeau, many members of Congress. Here's a video posted of St. Paul School on YouTube. The bill for this school is nearly $60,000 a year per student. You send your children there, you don't expect your daughter to call you at midnight and say, Mommy, I was raped. Now, several things happened in court today that help and hurt both sides. The call that I just alluded to, Tracy Caruso, so the incident occurs. And remember, the defense still says there was no sex, but the girl goes to the school nurse within 48 hours saying she might need Plan B, the morning after pill, because she's had sex. Then she goes on to the hospital after calling her mom at midnight saying, Mom, I was sexually assaulted. The mom races over to the school, takes her to the hospital. This is something very damning for the defense, I think, Tracy Caruso. If a girl, a young girl, her age, has consensual sex, why call your mom and tell her? Why would you do that? Unless she had been raped.
So many questions were raised today because not only was the accuser on the stand today, but there were several other witnesses. For instance, the St. Paul nurse, she took the stand. Now, she's the one that the accuser went to a day or two after. She's the one that administered the Plan B emergency contraceptive, as you've mentioned. But she testified that this girl was anxious, she was teary, but this nurse said that the girl told her the encounter was consensual.
Absolutely, and that's going to hurt the state. Alicia lawyers Trinity Hundredmark and Robert Schock. Okay, first to you, Schock.
Yeah, Nancy, this case is going to cut both ways, as you indicated earlier. But the best defense here are the text messages, the Facebook messaging, and the fact that she admitted to the nurse that this was consensual, and she admitted that to other friends. So although the defense has admitted a sexual act, they don't have to admit anything at this point in time. They're going to see how the prosecution's case is going to play out, and they're going to use these text messages to their advantage. Yeah,
another issue, Trinity Hundredmark, is that I know she said that to the nurse when asked directly, but then she calls her mom, says that she's been sexually assaulted, and goes to the hospital and talks to police okay, after she's had a minute to think about it. But the problem for the defense is not so much her emails back and forth, but the fact that the hospital nurse says that there is a laceration in the vagina, and the defense is claiming there was no sex at all. So if there's no sex at all, and that's the defense, then why is this prep school man writing her saying, hey, are you on the pill? Why? If they didn't have sex at all, why is he worried about whether she's on the pill, Trinity?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's a weak part of the defense's case, but there's a lot of other sexual conduct that could have gone on between the two. I mean, I think she indicated that there was, a certain amount of foreplay that was on. Some of that could have been rough, could have given, lacerations.
Let's follow this to its natural conclusion, okay? Can we agree on that?
Sure.
You're saying that while there's not actual sex, i.e. rape, there was sex contact. Then why, may I ask, would she need the pill, Trinity? Did I miss something in high school health? Why would he be worried, was she on the pill if they didn't have sex?
Listen, Nancy, they're kids. They're not always the smartest. I mean, you're talking about a 15-year-old. I am serious. When you're in high school, you have no idea. She asked him if he used a condom. This kid's going to Harvard,
for Pete's sake.
I would think she would know whether he used a condom or not. But she asked him that question.
Did you hear the word Harvard? He got into Harvard to study divinity, of all things. Okay, let me go back to you, Tracy Caruso. So you've got, I don't recall her telling classmates she had consensual sex. That's what Robert Schalk just said. I didn't hear that. I know the school nurse said she asked the girl, were you attacked? And she said no. This is posted St. Paul's on YouTube. I don't recall her telling other students she had consensual sex. Did that happen, Tracy?
Well, we did hear today from the alleged victim's best friend. She took the stand, and it was pretty graphic testimony, Nancy. It was conversations that had happened before and after the alleged events.
Did she ever say they had consensual sex? Just that one thing?
I don't recall.
Okay, well, there you have it, Shulk. There goes that argument right out the window. So do you see those underwear we're showing? How did his DNA, Shulk, get on her underwear? Could you explain that for me, Robert?
Well, that's the benefit of being the defense attorney. You don't have to explain anything at this point in time. You are on.
I didn't ask
you have
his
the
defense
opportunity
attorney.
to cross.
I asked you, Shulk.
Well, Nancy, again, I don't necessarily agree with the manner in which his lawyer is representing him and by denying a sex act. So I would have potentially conceded that there was consensual sex, but that's his problem at this point in time.
And another thing to victims' rights advocate, sex abuse lawyer Jeff Herman out of Boca. Jeff, just because she may have told other people, hey, this guy's kind of cute, I'm going to have a date with him. So what? When you go on a date and you think somebody's cute, that means you sign up to be raped or to have sex in the mechanical room of the building? Think about it. The mechanical room? That doesn't sound like a date to me.
Right, Nancy. I mean, being willing to kiss somebody certainly is not an invitation to rape. But, one of the things that bothers me about this case is the fact that this was an open secret. This senior salute was known be going on for decades. And where were the school officials? They were silent. The prominent school alumni we hear about, silent. And that silence to these kids is a tacit endorsement, and they encouraged behavior. And so I want to know, where were the school officials? These boys were getting points as part of a game to score with these girls. They called it slaying the girls. And so I have yet to hear as to they're saying all the right things now. The school, they're saying, oh, we don't condone this activity. Well, but they've known about this for decades.
Weren't they the ones painting over the names behind the washer dryers, Justin?
Marking it off as they went along.
Marking them off as they went along. Joining me right now, assistant professor at NYU School of Medicine, Dr. Devi Napia-Parampil. Dr. Devi, question to you. When the doctor at the hospital, we believe, is saying that the doctor observes lacerations in and around the vagina of the girl, what would that be? What is the doctor seeing?
Well, you worry about trauma from a sexual act. I mean, the other thing that they didn't mention is semen. So that's another thing you would look for in a rape kit or a rape evaluation. Now, the thing here is that the timing is critical. So if this evaluation had been done within 6 hours, you might actually see more sperm that are swimming, so that you'd know that something happened recently. But at 48 hours, you can start to see some degradation of the semen, and you might not be able to find it.